the Bliss Business Podcast, the show about empathy, connection, and consciousness in business. Today's episode is brought to you by Zero Company, your paid search, social media, and programmatic ad experts.
Hello, and welcome back to the show. In this short Empathy Expansion Kit episode, we are discussing the ripple effects of empathy beyond business. I'm Stephen Skach here with Tulio Siragusa. Hey, Tulio.
Hello, everybody. Good to be back.
So one of the things we do at our company is peer-to-peer giving. Each employee has a small monthly dollar amount they can use for internal use. And if a teammate steps up and helps them with something, they often return the favor with a thank you and gratitude for their help. And it's really become this organic driven thing that everyone enjoys doing. And every time it happens, there are notices in Slack. So you can see who is getting a shout out for what. We've also taken that concept outward. So certain frontline client folks in our staff have another giving program where they can send a prospect a cup of coffee, or a client lunch, or if a vendor, something happens to their family, you can send them a gift or something like that. So this is taking that empathy beyond our internal team and outward to the world, and in a way that's connection focused. And one of our employees, Martha, said she took our peer-to-peer giving concept and applied it to her family. And this just kind of, blew minds in the office as she was describing how it worked there. What she found out was, well, first as a wife and mom, was that her family was like, holy crap, mom does a lot for us and we need to do more for her and for each other. And so this started not just with building empathy and not just a conversation on gratitude, but really a gratitude and empathy practice for the family, right? So now they're a little more proactive in helping each other. And if you're looking for a better way to do allowances with your kids, this is it. I was like, oh man, all my kids are grown up. I'd have to reconfigure how to do this. But it was really just kind of blown us away. And she talked about the dynamics and how that really helped things there. Anyway, what we want to get in today is taking that empathy outward from your company, how that can create ripple effects. So Tulio, this is an example of a company gratitude process, not just staying within the workplace, but spreading the love outside. There's no tangible, straightforward impact on the bottom line, is there? How, a company may not be getting financially richer, but our lives are richer.
There isn't a direct correlation that you can track on the impact on the bottom line. However, there is a direct impact to the bottom line. It's just common sense, right? Imagine employees getting recognized, they're happier, they feel validated, and they come back and they stay because they continue to get validated, they continue to get recognition, which is really important to job satisfaction. So happy employees usually translate to better profits, happier customer, because you have this institutional knowledge that gets gathered over many years that stays because those people don't leave. There's a certain loyalty that comes into that. So there's a lower churn rate with recognition programs like this, which has a direct correlation impact in the bottom line, because when you maintain that knowledge, you have higher satisfied customers, et cetera, et cetera. So I think there's definitely a impact to the company's growth and the company's success. And there's studies that have been done that sort of an attitude of gratitude creates better successful companies. Like there's a direct study that shows a tie to stepping into gratitude and wealth. So there's definitely something related to that. But at the end of the day, a lot of companies they'll do stuff like this as a corporate social responsibility initiative. But in my opinion, it's just part of being purposeful as a business. If you started something that was something you were trying to solve or do good in the world, and with that came the exchange of money for it, right? So you create value, you get value in return in terms of revenues and profits. Now, there might be some people who can't afford what you have to offer, but the desire to create that value didn't diminish, at least not for the people who started the company, right? And hopefully that culture has maintained its excitement for fulfilling that desire in the world. So corporate social responsibility just becomes an extension of that original purpose, but now you're offering to maybe less fortunate folks, or you're doing your part to spread the success you're having with those who are maybe less successful. So it really, to me, it's just about being purposeful. So corporate social responsibility should really just be about extending your purpose to those who can't pay for it. So that's kind of the way I look at it.
It needs to be, because if it's not tied in with your company purpose, then I think a lot of people feel like it's just sort of checking the box on, hey, we're doing something nice. We can say that, we can issue a press release. But when it's about your purpose extending outward, in this larger manner, that's where you get that ripple effect, because now everyone's got more meaning to what you're doing there. Let's talk about like some examples of this. What are we talking about when you got that purpose aligned with that outward corporate social responsibility?
There are some great examples of this, and it's really aligned with this whole conversation of fulfilling that purpose, even with those who can't afford it. So, for example, Tom's, for every pair of shoes that they sell, they donate a pair of shoes to a child in need. So, buy a pair, give a pair. What a great concept! It's like, that's a great form of gratitude. I just received monetary value for something I created, a value for someone else, and I'm going to share that with somebody else who can't afford it, right? So since its founding, they've given away over 100 million pairs of shoes to children in need around the world. Warby Parker, for every pair of glasses sold, they distribute a pair to someone in need through their buy a pair, give a pair program. Same thing. To date, they've distributed over 8 million pairs of glasses to people in need. So again, it's another form of gratitude. I created a product, fulfills a need, fulfills a purpose. People need to be able to see, they pay for it. And I share that success with those who can't afford it. Patagonia, they donate 1% of their sales to environmental causes through its membership in its 1% for the Planet program. And since 1985, they've donated over $100 million to environmental groups. We all know they're very purposeful around the environment. Their products reflect it, but also their giving reflects it. Bombas, for every item purchased, they donate an item to a homeless shelter. So they've donated over 50 million items of clothing to those in need. And it's just a beautiful way to fulfill that purpose. I created something of value, someone paid for it, and I share that success with those in need. What a beautiful thing to do. Imagine every company that did that, Stephen. We'd have absolutely no poverty. We'd have no hunger. We'd have no issues, because that would be an extension of being purposeful, even when someone's not paying for it.
Yeah, it's kind of the exception right now is when companies do that. And really what we're trying to promote is that all companies, big and small, have some sort of aspect to that where it's that conscious capitalism approach where they're just, not thinking about the investor return. They're thinking about, their employees and giving them meaning. They're thinking about their community and providing a service for them. So this is really this consciousness evolving. And so I think over time, this is what you're going to see is more and more of these companies doing this. What I love that's really not talked about a lot on this is some of those companies you mentioned. There's marketing going on for these companies, and what they're doing, they're telling this story of, whatever it is, giving, helping homeless, helping cancer patients, whatever their cause is that ties in to their purpose. They're telling this story with not just millions, but billions of ad impressions just out there in the system. It's just billions over and over and over again. So you're actually impacting people in ways you don't know that you are. I know we have a client that we helped with. They're trying to stop food waste, and their message was love your leftovers. And this had millions of digital ad impressions and even impressions on the subway system, which was another one of our clients. But they were putting ads on the subway system where they feature this same message, love your leftovers. And it's promoting this awareness with just millions and billions of impressions, depending on the size of the company and the marketing campaign. So find those moments where you can extend that empathy outside of your business, and you will find that you have more meaning and purpose in what you do. That's it for today's episode. We'll see you on the next Bliss Business Podcast.